Until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. Today all may I become Buddha, in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha. Until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. Today all may I become Buddha, in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha. Until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. Today all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred.
To the founder, the endowment, and destroyer, the one beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, who got the know of the world,
Supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings,
to you, the completely and fully awakened one,
the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious conquerors, the spiritual Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge.
to the founder, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the one gone beyond,
The full destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, to God that whole world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious conquerors, the spiritual Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge.
to the founder, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the one gone beyond,
The full destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, to God that whole world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious conquerors, the spiritual Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge.
when all supreme among humans were born on this earth,
You cast out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise men I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom motion like a golden mountain, fame and places in the universe. Winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science faces like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Just ruler like you, the three worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean. To you, the one found the vastness I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms. The one path is a sublime pure path. To the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated, you also show the path to liberation. The holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts. To you, the sublime community intending virtue I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dhamma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all three ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, and with bodies as many as all known spirits in all aspects, the supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha.
a stellar mirage, a flaming lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, lightning, a cloud, see, condition, things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the flow of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and from Tushita's hundreds of gods, projectors heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heaped curd like cloud, O Losandrapa Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of syllables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear, and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice. Make mundane concerns, made life essence full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharma Kaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make venerable Sanghapas essential teaching specially shine forever. Mig me se wei ter chen dreaming can pay one po yan pe to pung ma lu jong wait up long chen ke pe su gen song kapa lo sang dra pe shabla so wadip. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Balchi mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time the superior Lord Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness and the inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Lord, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? As he spoke, and the superior Lord, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition, no factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomena. There is no eye element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom. And because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. Uniting the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom, become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequal mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and thus the goddess will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the hosts of the three places, Dakinis. Tayata gate gate parasam gate bodhisoha. Through the power of truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shanti Kyrie, so 1,000 types of obstructors pacified, freed from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect to auspiciousness. Bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Sashi Poki Chukshi Meto Tramri Rablingji Nide Igen Padi Sangye
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Who got the rubber phone? It's really a rabbit? Huh? Jackal? It's joke? Someone put that? Really? It looks very... We cannot talk. Otherwise, we have to lot of debate. we have to debate all the Buddhism masters. They say, yes. You know, his holiness
So when it's obvious, like that, like this, right? So you have to accept it. It's obvious.
Yeah.
So you can't go against that.
나도 리저를 하시면 나도 남배 추나 수마 나신지 다른 것도 동거에 맞대서 동거를 계속도 왔다. 로비 인이 쇼에 나도 되게 샤스. 근데 kelege 매송도.
But if it's not obvious, then we can debate on that, right? So like His Holiness said, Mount Meru is not obvious, even though Acharya Vasubandhu described the Mount Meru and the universe, the whole system like that. But because it's not obvious, therefore we can still debate on it.
근데 다 놓친 데 로를 하지 나도 간제 생이바 차살을 되게 싫어.
So if you can really find a rabbit with a horn like this, then you can debate with all the great philosophers, the Buddhist philosophers.
Right? This is also one example, non-existent. Then we have a lot of debates. Okay? Anyway, I want to set up a good motivation to benefit for all beings. Therefore, I'm going to develop my knowledge. Whenever we study, we learn something. We, understand one new, then we, free from one ignorant. Like we have the 7 different minds, then they say which one first, which one second, like how they come. The first ignorant. Ignorance not here, but not really ignorant, but this wrong view, wrong thought like that. Then come back to real cognition. But anyway, study important, but this text is very complicated. I think you guys also, even your English is your own language, but they use different words. Also, do you guys also saw some emails? No, I become terminologist. Like this one? Do you guys got email like this? Right. But this, some words also. Yeah, this is the links they put, but this is, I thought this was some special. This is just outlines. because all is already here. Also, they add some here, and also they make it more difficult. Because, right? Because difficult, the names, how they use the words. But it's good, something tricky you heard. Then you say, oh, there's something, otherwise always, oh, you have to be a good person, you have to be nice. Always be heard again and again. People, oh, I heard this all the time. Oh, don't do turn on virtuous actions, do meditation, compassion, loving kindness. You guys say, oh, I know that. Now this is something tricky. Some different words they use. Then maybe you guys also a little bit more thinking, I'm learning something. But it's really good, We always use this kind of minds. Also, I think a little bit different the science they use and the Buddhism philosophy they use the words and how they use the walk, the mind. The Buddhism, I don't know, maybe future. Until now, Buddha give the teaching 2,500 years. Never accept the brain is mind. Brain. Maybe future, who knows? But also we believe without brain, mind doesn't work. Without mind, they're all very important each other. It's not real we say it's brain. The nerves in the brain, they have some connection. But like this kind of text, also they don't explain very details the different kind of mind. I think Buddhism also most detailed explain the mind is Tantra. Right now also we use the mind, whenever we use mind, also we use the gross minds. Gross minds? We didn't use very subtle minds. If we are not able to use that. Like in order to use the very subtle mind, we need to also level or the very high practitioner. But the Tantra says very details, all the subtle minds, how they work, how we use the minds. But you don't need to read that, it's more complicated. Okay? Here that explains for gross mind, all beings use every day, 24 hours. Therefore, good to learn, good to identify each other's, definition. The Buddhism is the definition is most important. If you the definition, like someone said, what's the definition of U.S. citizen? I don't know what. You born here? But you guys have no passport, right? Most people don't have passport. Like us, we have passport. I don't know, if people born here this country, or who has the nationality, right? Maybe who people born, they have no idea what's nationality. What's that? Immigrant people, they got, when they got the citizen, they give some paper. Then who has that paper? Who reborn this country? We consider this country citizen? Yes, no. Like we need like something like that. Like example, Buddhism, non-Buddhism, how we identify. If someone go to Buddha's temple all the day, is Buddhism? Not necessarily. Someone doing all the time practice, they send pray books, Buddhism is not necessary. Someone never come to temple, is necessary not Buddhism? It's not necessary. It depends, the refuge. Refuge, also inside. Like Georgie Atisha, he come to Tibetan. He said, even the teachers going to teach the people, then we found many is not Buddhism. Like therefore, definition is most important. Then you identify definition, Buddhism, like monastery way, they all memorize. Like this kind, there's so many debates. First you memorize definition and example. After you all done, then debate. Then you don't need to look text again, because you already define, memorize. But we have no time to like that, but we try to our best. Then don't give up. Try, okay? This was too come, I'm done. Don't think that, okay? It's not easy. If it is way, everyone's very scholar. Even the monastery, there are thousands of monks and nuns. They're not everyone is scholar. It's not easy to understand. Therefore, if you understand, in order to study, finish your like get Texas, you need to so many conditions. You need to have also merit to this practice, this study. The condition, like people have no merit. When we say some monks, when they start to study, they got sick. The teachers about, some also very, what is that, sharp. Then when they start to study, they get sick. The teachers say, they are not merit. He's very smart, but when he going to study, he got sick. There's a lot. Sometimes the monks also, maybe you have no idea what's Mysore, Bangalore, Balakopi. When they got sick, they go to Dharamsala. When they left from Sera, reach the Mysore, Bangalore, their body become more healthy. They go to Dharamsala, the hospital, couple months, take Tibetan medicine, they become fine. When they reach back, then they reach the Bangalore, the body become sick again. The teachers that these people those will not merit. Therefore, we need to also more merit, like pray for Mother Tara. In monastery, they recite 21 prayers for Tara, sometimes 70 times, 80 times. One time, not 1 or 2 hours, like that. They pray a lot. Like therefore, when we doing here, you guys, last week, to a lot of kings outside, we really talk about what is the cause of your beautiful life, beautiful body is, clean the gomba, clean the area, offering the lamps, like, most meditation, what's that? Patience, most important cost. The second, offering the lamps, clean the gomba area, clean the holy place, clean the holy objects. Therefore, if you that, you get more merit. You get more merit, things be more excess. Like example, when your body is very more strong, you don't get easy to get small sick, right? Disease. Your body will become weak, very easy to catch so many kind of things. Like that, you will become more merit. The maras cannot harm. You have not enough merit, easy to harm. Like harm means not someone coming to give some poison or like that. Your mind, like, give up. Mind not very interested. This is a blessing from the maras, no mala. Okay? Okay, now we're going to study today. Yesterday, last week we talked about object or subject. How you say? 다 가서 가서 요다 이체니는 다 가서 요도 가서 제가 랍사이 맞. 근데 다른 샤이 있다. 난 주먹으로 잡아드는지.
And so last time we talked already about the object, right? And so we're just going to leave there about the object. Now we're going to go to the subject or object possessor.
와. 아니 시다다 요와라 일다 이체니 그래서 다 일다 가서 가서 제가 맞.
So in the things that exist, there are two, object and object possessor. So we already talked about the objects last time.
Okay. 다들은 가서 일체니다. 다 말아 오든 이 마트는.
So object possessor in page 10 or 11. 10.
Okay. 10 or 11. Okay. 다 이바 이체란 생이 이어와지. 단 생이다 이어와니 그래서와.
And like it says here, with the respect to the second, which is referring to object possessor, there are two parts, definition and divisions.
다 라이 찌르다 되면 이보대 라니 이체진 생이에서.
First, the definition of something's being an object possessor is a thing that possesses its respective object.
Okay. 이체진 생이 이바 텔라 예나 강사로 제지다도 섬이어서.
And second, when the object possessors are divided, there are three: persons, awareness, and expressive sounds.
Okay. 이게 틀리는데도 라이 치르게 되면 이보세와 마도 라이 치르게 되면 시바 라이 치르게 되면 강사랑 마도 대라고 진세여서 대라고 진세.
So it says a thing, right? It says a thing. It doesn't say person, awareness, or expressive sound. It says a thing that possesses its respective object.
Okay. 근데 이다 이바 텔레와전 강사치 강사 세디다 이진 없이 강사는 세진도 받아 나중에 때 맞아와 인자 가게 강사대 로임이 차상여서 로임바 켈레게는 말레 근데 로코인 바치다 시바치 제지 다세도 다 다데레스 다디 시바 마르와스 그래서 랑치르데 맹이보세와 마도 랑치르데 시바세라 말레베 진세 데레스.
So it talks about the person, right? The person. There's many ways of defining the person depending on different tenets or different schools of thought have different way of defining. Some say the person is is a mind, so a consciousness or mind that goes from life to life. Some says something else. So there's a different way. And expressive sound is also object possessor. But it's not a sound, it's not a consciousness or a person, and so that's why in the definition of the object possessor, it doesn't, say a consciousness that possesses its object and object so the respective object, but rather says a thing that possesses its respective objects.
그래서 다 이때는 다 이체세들아 코로나 일이 요한다 그 이체 장성을 했어. 코로나 일이 요한다 그 이체 장성을 했어.
So why is it called object possessor? Because it possesses object. Because it has the object or it possesses the object, therefore it's called object possessor. And so the person has object, right? Has an object. So like we are a person, right? We are a person. And so we know things, right? We know things, we know objects, so we have object.
갑대 하고 요래 되는다 갑대 땅에 여죠 나 대여듯이 이제 자는 거래서.
And so for example, like I recognize the cup, I know the cup, so cup becomes my object and I become the object possessor.
봐. 다 강사라 열도 와서.
And so there is an object to the person, right?
갑라 열여러
So is there an object to the cup? Is there an object to the house, to the temple?
What talking? No, right? 뭐 다 담아가도 내 차도 말고 내라고도 다 강사치 다 그리고 일 영역이 일제들아 강사치래 다 강사들로 하고 도와서 내라고 도와서 근데 로니 말다 로도 내라고 도와서.
And and a thing that has an object is called object possessor, right? So the person is object possessor because it has an object, it possesses object, it has an object. And second one is the awareness that that we know already, right? The awareness, is object possessor because it has an object.
And the Geshe does. And the Geshe does it, that call it.
And so expressive sound also becomes an object possessor because it has object. So not every sound is expressive sound. And so it's, the sound of so and so called. So when you say cup, you express a cup, right? You express cup, and then it becomes expressive sound. So expressed sound, right? So it becomes expressed. You express the sound, and therefore it becomes expressive sound. It's not just a sound, but expressed sound.
Okay?
So each of them will be defined individually or separately later. So if it's an object possessor, it has to be either person, awareness, or expressive sound.
Yes.
Can a word be an object possessor?
That thick that Danny Yam the whole my younger. That thick is that 6 was a gun, that I didn't think younger. And the thing that is the whole my younger. And the shoe checking the shoe in Gati, Jita. That thing, Jedi that thick. So, missing kiss some living Nala, and he kissed. Tiki Jala. That girl, think that Jay was.
So later there will be more in detail about the word. Yeah. So what is the word? The word is like a sound made by the speech. And so later it will explain like that. So when you say that, then it becomes object possessor. But then not the word itself, but word itself, word becomes like the part of the object possessor of the expressive sound, but not by itself an object possessor. So later we'll have more explanation on that later when it explains about an expressive sound.
Okay?
So you can think about, you can think this way, right? If it is an object possessor, it has to be either person, consciousness, or awareness, or expressive sound, right?
Okay?
So the object possessor which has an object, right? If it's that, then it has to be either person, awareness, or expressive sound.
Okay? 다 강사 다디 다 동보라스 다뭐 강사 랑게 풍풍하고 강라 때문에 개워대스 아니 강사가 되니 강사다 나다 다다 개워는 된지 세전은 검소수에 대신 개웠다 보스.
And so the first, talking about person and as an object possessor, it says with regard to a person, the definition of some things being a person is a being imputed independence upon any of its 5 aggregates. So that's the person. And the self, I, person, and being are synonymous.
내가 person 사이드 제어 사이드 바지 먼저 묻히고 거기서 말인다. 강사 전화 거기 들어와. 나다 강사는 되지 센도.
So here, when we talk about person, it's a same as saying being. Yeah? So being is the same as the person is same as being. So in that case, even animal is a being, right? The gods are beings, demigods are beings also. I mean, the person also.
근데 나도 강사 나도 제외세잖아 먹세잖아 제외세도 먹고 다 먹고 그러고 이제 아니 맛이 된 그릇은 나 봐지고 되니까 가요 들어와.
And then if we're talking about a human being, the human beings, and then there's a different definition for human being. It's not here. Person is not only referring to human beings; it also refers to other beings as well. Any kind of being is a person. So the person, human being, Again, there's a definition. It's called someone who can speak and understand the meaning.
Okay? Then is the Pumbo Garla de Tabi. Not that Pumonga Garna, Zuji Pumbo, Soya Pumbo, the sheep Pumbo, the number of Pumbos, Pumonga there was.
So, being imputed independence upon any of its 5 aggregates. So what are the 5 aggregates? Aggregates of form, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of discriminative awareness, and then this the aggregate of consciousness, and then the aggregate of compositional factor.
다들 부모하고 강하라도 강하는데 차선 땡고요 말했어. 차선 가다이나 차선 차고 말했어.
So here, when it says upon any of, it is 5 aggregates. Any of, not all of the 5 aggregates, but any of 5 aggregates, right? So if it's a person, doesn't have to have all 5 aggregates.
배나 주미가기 강다들로 주요면자다 주지 부모 상교 말이나 전바도 상하다 고 대라 땡네 답이 개워서 답이 나세 고로서.
So like the beings in the formless realm doesn't have a form, so they don't have aggregate of form, but they are persons, and they have other, rest of other, 4 other aggregates.
다 네가 강다했다. 간지 sem진 차선되는 데요. sem진 차선.
So in this case, when we talk of a person, every sentient being is a person.
간지 바주도 샤치도 강가 코로도 예요라 콘소 코로도 차선 또요라 와. 또요라 와서. 옛날 코도 이제 자대 그랬어.
So the cows, the birds, and everything, they all have object, right? So therefore they all become object possessor. Because they are persons.
Okay. 다 대이치 일치치 다 대비는 때문에 라이면도 다니바 로라 선이 예와스 담보 로 리발루 선이 사실에 바시벤 선이 로르시는 되지 있어 다만 네가 됐어 그래서
And then it says an illustration is a being who possesses a basis of one of the 3 realms, right? So any kind of beings here. And then next, so that's about the person, and the next is awareness. This is with regard to the second, the awareness. There are 2 parts, definition and division. Definition is first, the definition of an awareness is a knower. The definition of a consciousness is that which is clear and knowing. So awareness, knower, and consciousness are synonymous.
다들 나조라 물려야 시바세 요데 가도 뇽이 같은 거 적고요 와서 시바세 요데 로세 요다 뇽이 적고요 와서 뇽을 때문에 적고요 와서.
So the existence of the consciousness, the existence of the awareness, can be proved by through our own experience, right?
봐. 배나 초와 대화 초와 동아 아니 샘지 가나다 쪼나스 대전다 아니 다 녀라 가로 녀가라 토비 진나 안노자라 다음에 공조 녀라 토비 차바스 너 당도 저라 용어도 와서 당도 용어 적고요 와서.
And so, like the feeling of the happiness, feeling of suffering, or feeling of the gladness and disappointment, and feeling of like a fear by seeing or by encountering with the danger, and having a sense of attachment towards the beings who we feel close to, and having a sense of anger or hatred towards the beings who cause harm to us. So these things happen to us, right? So we know we have experienced this. So through our experience, we can understand these kind of awarenesses.
아니 샘지 동아와라 maybe 니제 당도 되게도 와서.
And then also we have a compassion, we generate compassion by seeing beings who are going through tremendous amount of sufferings.
아니 배는 든지 메토데 야본도 메토데 야본 메도세 미신 동 텔라테데 토베가 다 야본도 요본데세 고 가로 가시하게 와시들 레고.
And then also, by seeing the flower in front of you, with your 5, first, you see it with your eye consciousness, and then the moment you see it, in the second moment, your mind thinks, oh, that's a flower, oh, that's a beautiful flower, that's a blue flower or orange flower, and so forth. So then your mind, or your conceptual consciousness, labels it or discriminates in certain ways.
아니 근데 삼숑세 근데 쟁기도 요새 된데 가서다 용어도 용도 와서.
So I think, I remember. So those things, so we can understand through our own experience, right?
근데 이다 간지 시바세데 주첸다 주첸 마이니는 주첸 마인바. 지금 가서 문장 그래서 와 시바세데.
And so among the big things that has a form and that doesn't have a form, the consciousness is considered the thing that doesn't have a form. It's a formless, right?
와. 근데 이다 간지 시발로 참으로 만나고 뭐뭐지 땅가서 나베 주나 나 걸려야 아니 그러고 레신 잡아 아니 뒤급 뭐니 냠내 봐야 보이나 아니 리포트 참고서 배치 당내다 이게 도구 그래서
And so many details about the mind, consciousness is explained, especially the subtle consciousness explained very clearly in the tantric practice. And so those who are highly realized beings, through their practice and experience, when they become highly realized, then they can use their intelligence or knowledge to manifest those subtle mind to do the practice.
그래서 남비가 로당 시반이 간지 된주세는데 그래서 지바이스로
And so here, when we talk about awareness, the knower, and awareness, is the mind also, right? Awareness, knower, that which knows, and consciousness, they are all synonymous.
그래서
The same meaning.
그래서 원하다 시바세다 주치지 주니 바지 이완을 가르쳐야 되니 치카가 가르쳐서나 그래서 되니 채원을 가르쳐서 와야 나와. 아니 쇼 계획은 근데 드비가 딱 가서 대대 안아서 고야 들어갈라 또 샘대 딱 개체기 고야 말이죠.
그렇게 볼 거니까.
가서 시바다 뱀보 가로 시바다 주니 박 채원을
뱀보.
다주 뱀보 채원을 되니 채원을 간다 가서 미근 대대 뭐다 샘지 가는 건 대대 저야게 조대 다 너도 중요고 너도 좀다 가로 다래 다 기회를 가서 말아서는 너도 다 조심해서 다 저야게 조어서 가는 거죠. 좀게 조어서 때까지 시바쳐야 되겠더라.
So the difference between the matter, or form objects, right? So form objects, or matter, and consciousness is like so the mind that accomplishes one's desire, right? Which says, oh, I want to have this, I want to have that. It's always the mind.
그러와 가제 강사디 대시 봐야 때는 소수고 샘 나도 때는 아니 냠내도 로조 채와이나 아니 나바 사지글로이나 아니 다 강사디게 샘라 대화용고 와 아니 고소 소수고 샘 다보 맞아 샘 하였다와나 강사들의 약간이 저기 와 다 용어 듣고 그래서.
And so if you are aware, and if you are aware of these different kind of minds, and seeing and knowing what kind of mind is good, what kind of mind is bad, and then following the good minds and not following, and stopping the bad minds. If one is able to do that, then one will find the happiness that one wants. So if one doesn't know that, if one doesn't know the difference of the mind, and and then just follow one's desire, one's wish, then that will bring all the sufferings.
tenida 남백의 유문하라 르백의 시백은 로도 뱀 무슨 자체 뭐 소리스러워.
And so in Buddhism, or in Buddhist texts, it explains in very detail about all these different kinds of mind that's proved with the logical reasons.
tenida 산지 좀 내게 디바체야 미제 개와 포도 랑그 샘의 용선 든든 산지 템바 이 송어.
So that's why Buddha said, do not commit any virtuous action, commit only virtuous action, subdue one's mind, and that is the teachings of the Buddha.
그러와 간제 수수 샘 너와 때 수수 메테기 님보 야쇼데 이 송어래서.
And so he says that the best essence of one's life is subduing one's mind.
그러와 대나지 다 순주나도 다나지 송어래서. tenida 간제 시바세데 뭐 주가와 주도 만다와 아니 지 리지 차제 차다나 잡댕이기 다 가로 주도 만다와 그래서.
And so like that also it is explained in the Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life. So consciousness or mind is something that is not visible, cannot be seen, yet it is it's spreading all over the body, every part of the body. And it's spreading every part of the body.
그러와 배차샤와이나 아니 가로 Shadang and Shibata Chadang long tango, long laya. There's a long answer was.
So, but there is a basis, on which the mind relies on, or depends on, or mounts on, right? So, you have to have, if there's nothing to hold it, it will fall down. So something to hold it is the wind. So the wind holds the mind.
Then the Shiba said, and the Janso Najigia, Takaro, some Kawana Chodingish. And the Shinana member Najigi, Kawana Temple with the Legi, Kaya Labanaji, for the region, Mosu Kalakawa, special on the song of Sudomanda.
Jasonaji.
Jasonaji, the Bayu, Kawana Rocho. And the Shinana member Naji, Kawana, Kukawan Zudugish. And then
so it is, it's different, unlike the form, unlike the body or the form. The mind is very difficult to see. It's like the wave, on the current and the wave and the ocean, and you can't say, where it is going, where it is, it's very unstable, and like a fire, in the forest, with a strong wind. So you don't know where the fire is going to follow. It's very difficult to control. So mind is like that.
Okay, the time ripa luin senior, sashi ripa shiba senior, low ripa shiba, some danger is rather than tango shiba is.
So knower is the definition of awareness, and this is that which is clear, and knowing is the definition of consciousness. And this says awareness, knower, and consciousness are all synonymous.
That shiba said, and Shiba said, and Tochi Zule Dobe, Tomiji choose to Maji, Tochi, not Zulawa, Zule Dobe, that Koran Ranchu the Tribeke, and the Koran Chejudo, Chile, Koran Chejudo, some Shishi shall do the
So consciousness is an object that arises by itself, which cannot be seen or touched. You cannot come in contact, like it doesn't have that contact. You can't have a contact, with the consciousness, like physical contact, the consciousness with the consciousness.
And then Sholodo, Nalo, Chazangi, Chuganga, and Switzerland, Chen living, serving, Savano, Sahidaba, serving Chawana, the Bayo.
And so on, and everything, all the things, from outside and inside, are very clear, to it. It appears, all these things, from inside and outside, appears very clearly, to the mind or to the consciousness. So, for example, if we look at the mirror, we can see our reflection. So our reflection appears to us, right? But if we turn the mirror, then we don't see ourselves. But consciousness is different. So even if you are looking at it or not, it can still appear. An object can still appear to it. Like when you're looking at the mirror, and you're seeing with your eye consciousness. But then when you're not looking at the mirror, you can still think of your face, a reflection of your face with a mind consciousness. So to the mind consciousness, you have that reflection of your body or your face, even if you're not looking in the mirror. So you can still see it. And same with your things that you have in your house. Right now you are here, you're not in your house, but you can imagine the things. You can think of the things that you have in your house. So you're seeing with your mind. That consciousness, sees the thing in your house now. And so it has that quality, of all the things, from inside to outside, appearing to it clearly.
Okay? And then you want the Danya the Trapas, and then you want the Danya the Trapas, the younger is
And so it also experiences the object.
Or that date and that special Nimula Yomaris, and they and the Janguran Bochigan, and then number Turiki, Kolaya, Russia, the Paya Timolaya, and the Russia, Tangi, negotiation, and it did.
So this is what I'm saying now is not in the text here, but it was mentioned by His Holiness, and in his teaching or explanation about mind and science, that was composed together.
The
So we
Tibetan
said-
book, there are 2 books. I don't know English, there are how many books. They will come English soon. It's Buddhism Science. I have the text, I'm looking at this text here. And you guys think, oh, Geshe, I have a lot memorized. I'm not memorized, I'm looking at this text. But this is so good for one of His Holiness wishes. We do study. When I meet him last year 2 times, also maybe 20 minutes we talk. He said, very important. Also he mentioned, now he's going to the scholars to ask to combined. Combined. Right now, 24th century people have no time to read all the Kanjus Tenjus. Therefore, also they don't know which one. Therefore, he asked the scholar Geshes, they combined. Okay, this is for Buddhism science and Tadabsana.
Oh.
Tadab.
Yeah, that was the views.
Views. Then this is a Buddhism. This is a
Buddhist
Buddhism practice like that. He combines 3 categories. There are 3 categories.
Categories.
3 categories. Now, they already Tibetan have 3 books already came with science. They talk about how exist things, like cup, like house, like vase. The Tibetans, Buddhism was vase is most important. Vase and pillar, and the rubber horn. But we have not much vase now. It's a cup, pillar. Like this is how they exist. Then they talk about all different schools, different views. Also non-Buddhism in India, they how they views. Then after they talk about, okay, the mind, work high, karata, and the law the shiba korea, peso mo song do sirwa.
So explains very clearly, about mind and awareness.
Ane tanzo so ya, ane jaga, ane pendu chodingi, shuda ma, drini pe, yawo shu song sha de, nande lela ko ko um sirwa.
And so these are explained according to the explanation given by the great pandits or great scholars from India, during or just right after Buddha's time. And of course, it was nicely put together, but even I don't understand clearly everything here.
Okay? What also we good for he also asked to study this. Now we study that. It's also one of his wishes we're doing. It's good. Even we know, we not understand, doesn't matter. But whenever I explain the 4 different, how you say?
Features, qualities.
You guys write down that. This you guys doesn't find a little while and book. It will become book, Then just they put there. And then go some kind of cowing in the rest. And the yambate, and it number Sanji Vigi, that Chikio Tamamang check and the Kenny Chibare song shadow.
And so these are the kind of qualities, right? The qualities we just talked about a little bit roughly. So the consciousness, having this quality is accepted, by most of these scholars.
Okay? Or the Dashiba the Sashi Ripas, and the Luti.
And so having that kind of quality or feature and being clear and knowing is called the mind or consciousness. And says, so it says clear and knowing. As the clear is its nature, in the nature of the consciousness, the mind, and knowing is its quality. So the clear is its nature, knowing is its function. So it functions that way. So the reason why it's called clear, here, it means that it doesn't have that physical, it doesn't have that physical object. So it's because it's clear of that physical object, therefore it's called clear. It's not. I mean, clear means not, right? So it's just clear. The road is clear means no traffic, like that. So it's clear of the physical object or contact, and therefore it's called clear.
아니 시바세 때 이 리바가 연 점바이자 시바세 샤워레스로 들리 딱그 제주 사와티 제주 간다 연 점바가 리바이자 다 로디 제주 사시 리바
로즈모더라.
아 로디 전토
율
점바고 유유도 샤바 연 전토와이자 아니 리바들라와레스.
And so knowing, of course, you know what's knowing, right? So here, when you say knowing, it means like holding. Yeah? You hold the object with your mind. Yeah? So when you know the cup, you are holding the cup with your consciousness. So that's what it means. Like it's holding its object,
어떤이다 아니
apprehending its object.
가래 시바세 때그 로디 제주 사와세 때 로디 그런 거 장도 왔어.
So clear, is its nature, and the knowing is its function or quality.
오케이? 다들 하고서 왔어. 되는데도 된다. 리팔로 인생이 사실은 바시베 세니스로 와. 로리 시선 된주인 다들 주발에 들어와.
So again, what's the definition of awareness? Knower. It's easy, right? Knower. It's the definition of awareness, and that which is clear and knowing is definition of consciousness. Right? So what are the synonymous? The synonymous. Synonyms. What are the synonyms? Yes, awareness, knower, and consciousness are the synonyms.
어디 다들 되겠습니다. 다 로리 바시바 되지. 다 되려나 세마단 세미지 로 세마단 세마 많이 별로니 오래 들어와.
And then division. And talking about the division of the awareness. How many divisions are there? 2, right? Valid cognizers and non-valid cognizers.
오케이. 다들 이해와 들었다. 다 로라 이해와 가세스나 로라 이해와 니요스.
So if you're asked how many divisions are there to the awareness, what do you say? What are they? Yes.
어디 다들 야오도.
That's good.
가래 일적인 선이 가르잖아. 다 먹을 가지고는 일적인 선이 가르잖아.
What's the definition of object possessor? What's the definition of object possessor?
In the monastery.
Huh? Yeah.
가세.
I hate you to move.
You have question?
Yes. In the divisions, it says valid cognizers, and then it says the other one is a non-valid awarenesses. So what's the cognizers? Just another synonym of awareness?
Same, yeah.
Okay. In monastery, when the teacher asks, okay, what that? Then everyone say together, very loud. Also in Tibetan, right now, India, they use the books. In Tibetan, they said they don't use book. The teacher also, they memorize all these things. Then in the night time, also in Tibetan, there's no light. The evening, they're teaching. The students also, they don't have the book. Teacher also don't need book, he has to memorize. And then the dark, they're all dark, maybe they're small, maybe small candle, the butter lamp. Then the evening or the teaching, then okay, what is the definition of the yelchi? Then everyone's then say a couple of times. Then you become more
Memorize.
Lord.
So you repeat after the teacher. The teacher will tell, and then you just repeat several times until you memorize it. So it's if you follow, the way of the previous masters, then you also receive their blessings.
Okay,
So what's the definition of object
관계
possessor?
경험도 나오다. Second. You don't have book? Okay, say again. Okay. That tell in the consciousness.
How many divisions are there to the object possessor?
What are they? Okay, what's the definition of the person? What's the
Synonymous.
synonyms?
Synonyms.
Okay.
Synonyms? Synonyms? Synonyms. Synonyms of person.
Okay. Okay. Give me example.
Illustration.
And the pumbunga kala te tawa seki jita karsana.
What's the reason it says any of the five aggregates?
Because form in formless realm, it doesn't have a form.
Okay. pumbunga te karasana.
What are the five aggregates?
Form, feeling, discrimination.
Good. You guys become next lab, become debate class. Become everyone among the nuns. What? That clear concept. You know? And the pajudo, and the chiudo, chido, and the concept of the image.
So are the cows, birds, and dogs a person?
This person? You sure? He said that we don't say the cows going, we don't say the, we do say the person going. If there's some cow, we say the person is there. Yes? Really? Yeah, sentient beings, yeah. They talk about all sentient beings here, okay?
So what's the second? What's the second? Second what? Second object possessor, yes. Awareness. What's the definition? And the definition of consciousness is?
And that could do you guys na?
In the synonymous with? Synonyms with? Synonyms with?
That's was na kaza, hiba na kaza na.
What is clear and what is knowing?
What do you say? Sawala na.
Sawadir anshiche. And rigbadi chile.
Good job. That's very good, okay? Then you write down. Then you shiba the cheju kaza dem, right?
So how many qualities the consciousness has?
This you not text.
4, yeah.
Fourth kaza. You guys write down?
Did you write down all the 4s?
They chance done the opposite. They turn the page to your mouth, right?
It's not in the text, so yeah.
Yeah.
Could you repeat the 4 ones?
Yeah. Tambo shiba na sa chenji chule dode and tomiti choose to pass.
So the first is, being, free of contact, right? Free of, the physical contact.
And tochiji sule dome tomiti choose to pass. The chita.
So it's a free, it's a void of the physical contact, and so therefore it has it's a contactless object. Contactless.
Code on us. Kaje Pode Pumud Maris, Kada Pumul do being water percent.
So it's very easy to understand, right? So the man is not a woman, so the woman is a void of man, like that.
And you bought the Shananga Chuna Ralan Chaniji Savi Chawla Dembas, Chanibi.
And so the second quality is that all the things appear to it clearly. And all the external and internal things appear to it clearly.
And somebody Yeribi Chawla Dembas.
And then the third one is it has the quality of knowing its object.
And she was the Nyodanjing Dani the Trapas.
And the fourth one is and having the nature of experiencing its object.
Okay?
Experiencing its object.
Okay, that day Hakos was.
You want some with Duba?
Nyodanjing more Trapas. What Nyodanjing Dani the Trapas.
Danya the Duba,
The thing more, Nyodanjing more.
용교를 그래서.
용. 그런 점에서 용도 그래서.
So it can experience. It has the quality of being able to experience this object.
어디지? 다 시바 가와테였나?
Where is it based? The mind and the consciousness is based on what? Wind.
윈드 롱 때문에 그래서. 아니 시바된 거는 깜바다 자동차도 그래서.
And it's spreading all over the body from the tip of the
아니 시바의
top of the
배
head to the tip of the toe.
아니 다 돌의 매가 아니 다 돌의 매변이 맞아 양보 쇼 그래서.
And it's also light, right? Because it has no physical contacts.
아니 잠수타고 못된 바스. 템보에 말도 가와나.
And it's unstable like an ocean.
그래서. 아니 신앙나 멤버인데 다 매대 만도 사실 가운 말로 구조해서 대나지 시바대는 다 리다가 그 수부차도 차단해야 내일 참 맞죠 요 말 차단 잡아버렸어.
And it's spreading all over the body, just like the wildfire. Yeah. So once there's a fire in the forest, it's catches every place.
그래서 근데 조치 뭐지네 sem진난 거 루인제와 현도 뭐뭐시 휴진됐네 봐서. 지금 보시네 다 루는 인제와 담마나 뭐지 가서 맞아 그 욕보시 인제와 담마는 인제니가 됐어.
가르쳐.
반은
추춤을 하시.
추춤을 하지.
아니?
아니 저 추춤 못하게 다 가로 니바치 무슨 좋아야 때도 그러고 대나지 시바되게 야 그런 거 나와 시바를 잡으라 뭐 보시 봐 때도 그랬어.
So just like the powerful river, which combines all these different things like water, from different rivers, and the mind also, can have manifest in different forms, different forms of different kind of minds.
오케이. 다 저도 하고서 왔다 마트지 대산이 호 되는 마트지 대줘야.
So now you have written down everything, right? So tomorrow maybe we'll ask a question about that. Homework questions.
But it's good, okay? Then you think, okay, that's true or not? When I shibate luna temba yambores, zubuchak chajam there, the other thing on the radio and the tower was.
So you have to check it yourself whether it's true or not. It says that mind is very light, based on mounting on the wind and spread it, all over the body and so forth. Right? So is it really true that way? Mind?
Can mind go so the
So if is the mind, if his mind is not light, then we will not be able to carry it, right? If it's very heavy, if it's heavy, we will not be able to carry it.
아니 미 수지 나지는 미가도 도도 말해서 봐.
And also we cannot, see the mind like we see visible objects.
그래서 남배기로야 아니 단달람도 뱀볼에 도배 도미지 아니 추스터 받으라도 was.
And so it is a contactless, object that is void of matter.
그래서 다 레바 시바마인데 시바 레바 마인드 가서 다 다나 다치 쉐이거서 봐.
And so that explains that brain is not mind, and mind is not brain.
얘나야 레바 맨날 시바가 내가 매지거든. 시바 맨날 내가 매지고 대응하면서 쳐도 걔네지 말했어.
But of course, it depends on each other, right? If there's no mind, the brain will not work. If there's no brain, mind will not work.
얘나야 나도 레바는 가서 대초바다 대 문제 걸어봤어. 나도 무슨 대나라 짜 시바 소소소소 내가 제가 짠다면 대 짜대도 정신 안에다 레바 정신도가나 시바 정신도 정신도 걸어봤어.
So there are many nervous systems, in the brain, right? So, it has different nervous system, it has different kind of mind, functioning with the brain. And so when that nervous system, when one particular nervous system goes down, then, that mind will not perform. And then we say, oh, there's a damage in the brain.
그래서 단대차는 가서 다른 단대차는 가서 삼로 야보지 단단 건데 지금 시바세 되지 뱀보지 마연 봐. 아니 코로나지 사실이 뭐 어떻게 되는지 막 지금도 문도 너무 열어서 답고서 봐.
And so when we learn this and then we come to understand, or we can apprehend that, comprehend that the mind is doesn't have a physical form or contact, and therefore it is not a brain or anything like that.
오케이. 어디지 다 사실 봐. 아니 로리시즘 되지. 다 내가 참마다 재미지 로니 예원이도 왔어.
And so thus the knower is the definition of awareness, and that which is clear and knowing is the definition of consciousness. And awareness, knower, and consciousness are synonymous, and there are two divisions to the awareness, right? There's a valid and non-valid cognizance.
당도 주마 아니 딘테이든 만들어야
So now next time we'll talk about these divisions in more details.
이나 저도 뒤져는 이봐 같이도 너도 로나 뱅그레스.
And so after this, right after that, it talks about, someone's view, right? Somebody says such and so. So if you have time, go through them and try to understand what they're talking about.
Okay? They troublemakers. They make it for us. Okay?
Yeah, the material in the box, yeah.
Okay? Okay, any questions special here? Yes?
Yeah, Geshe and Damshala, when we started to talk about the qualities of the consciousness, I wrote down that you, Damshala, used the phrase consciousness arises by itself. And maybe I misheard that and wrote it down incorrectly, but are we to understand that it is not dependently arising?
대말. 예. 때려만 그저 말했어. 이나 토지에 죽래 도배 죽미지 주스트 봐세요. 그리고 죽메다가 죽만 주스트 봐세요. 그 대말 좀 이렇게 말해야 돼.
So arising, so from its side means by itself, without depending on the physical objects. Yeah, that's what it means.
Okay? 대말
Physical object, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist and it doesn't depend on anything at all. It doesn't depend on a physical object. It says devoid, of physical contact. So it means it doesn't depend on that.
배나 example잖아. 배나 보모데 본래 도배 보모 주스트 말아봤어.
So, so it says the woman, is a woman by itself, devoid of man. It's speaking like that. Woman is a woman by itself, devoid of man,
This make sense?
like that.
That make sense? 보모 주스트 말아봤어.
A woman is a woman by itself, right?
법부 주스트 말아봤어.
Yeah. So a boy is boy itself, man is man itself, or woman is woman itself, right?
대자 보모 말아 보모 알아봤어.
And so man is not woman, woman is not man.
다 배우실라 될 도바스. 될 도와레스. 보모 벌 도와레 보모 도와레스.
So when man is not woman means man is devoid. I say devoid or void, devoid of woman.
I think what I was maybe trying to pinpoint was the notion of arising as in something happening rather than just a static condition. Or a
So
state.
what to do about this go on us?
마음 숨는 좋아서 말이야.
No, it's not saying that it exists by itself from its own side. I'm not talking about that. Yeah.
Okay? Yes.
I have a question about, this is going back to last class, is that okay?
Last class we will come back.
Okay,
We have homework, right?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Today, are you guys done today? Then we go to homework. Okay, now homework. Who has question?
No, I just have one more question. It's like, the definition of an awareness is a knower. So why is the title objects and positions as well as awarenesses and knowers? Now A and B, but A equals 2.
리볼로의 천이나 로리시아스 가슴 던지는 거였어.
아,
로리시아스 가슴 던지잖아. 리볼로의 천이나 로더 리보다는 무슨 던질라도.
더 찡발이라 그래. 고대 찡발이라 그래. 고대 찡발이지.
So knower is the definition of awareness.
찡발이지.
Right? Knower is the definition of awareness. And awareness is awareness is what to the knower?
Synonymous with knower, consciousness.
Huh?
Synonymous.
Yeah, but what is that? And so if this is definition, then what is this? If this is the definition of this, then this becomes Huh?
Definitive?
And I think that there's no English word for that, but somebody created this word called definendum.
Yes.
Definition and definendum. I think maybe just for the sake of this, maybe it will be easier for you to know it. So maybe then we can use that term, definendum. So here we're talking about awareness. Knower is the definition of awareness, right? So and awareness is a definendum of knower. Okay.
Okay,
Is
everyone.
that's a deal, okay? So now later you'll be we'll be talking a lot about that. And every time there's that which is defined, right? That which is defined.
Yeah, knowledge, yes.
This is an analogy.
Yeah, it's a knowledge.
Objects and object possessors, and then awarenesses and knowers.
Yeah. So now coming to the term about definition and definendum, right? So definition and definendum are synonymous. So if whatever is a definendum is definition, and whatever is a definition is a definendum. Not cause and effect. Synonymous, same meaning.
Yeah.
So that's why they call synonymous.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at synonymous because I have to. And it does say, having the character, it's strongly suggested a particular idea and quality very strongly associated with this thing.
Yeah, very strong,
They're
yeah.
not the same, but it is very strongly associated. So the example they give is to run in Boston is synonymous with marathon. So,
No, we're not. Not in this case. 전직라는 지금 되게 봐. 더더 집어 찢었어 봐.
나는
얘는
돈
말은 참념라. 참념라.
돈도 지발해서 자 이천 얘는 몇 천이 됐어. 돈도 지발해. 그런 거 샤워 전에 꿈이 가다 하는 거.
So because of the function, you can have different name,
yeah.
but in terms of the meaning, it's exactly the same. So Boston and marathon has different,
Yeah, that's a
different.
that's a bad example.
But
The language example was that.
but when you're talking about the synonymous, that means having same meaning. So so let's say the knower and the awareness, right? Knower and awareness, they are synonymous, right? So the knower and synonymous have a knower and awareness have exactly the same meaning. And if there's a knower there, awareness is there. If there is no awareness, there's no knower. And if something is awareness, then it's also knower. If something is not awareness, then it's not knower either. So they have exactly the same meaning
Yeah, then why have the two?
because of the different functions.
Okay.
But awarenesses means object, doesn't it?
Hmm?
Right.
Awarenesses means object. Awareness means knower or knowing. And awarenesses mean the object, so it's the same word for
Object.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
That's not.
I don't know. I've never heard of that term.
Well, it says awarenesses.
Where's this saying?
Awarenesses. Oh, awareness. That's just a plural, no? Plural.
Yeah, that's just.
Well, no, it's not a plural, it would be an object, wouldn't it? It would be,
Awarenesses.
I'm sorry, I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
But I thought for the definiendum really, so in the case of awareness, that's really like a logical antecedent to a knower. It's not necessarily synonymous and they're identical in meaning. So that you can't have a knower without awareness, right?
Yes.
So you need the awareness. The definiendum is in logic anyways, that's the antecedent to knower. So they have similar meanings, and they can be used synonymously or interchangeably. But in terms of a logical argumentation, right, the awareness is qualitatively different than a knower, right?
Yeah, that's why they said they have a different terms.
Right.
Just
Okay.
slightly different, different quality or different, the functions
Right,
because
okay.
of that. Otherwise, they're exactly the same meaning.
Right, okay.
배나 얘도 시발에 얘 샤워 전에 싸웠어. 되게 시발에 얘도 샤워 마도 그런 저녁에 전에 르바스 그런 거.
So when the object appears to the subject, to the mind, right? Then it's clear to the mind. So that's why it's called clear. And then when the object not just appear to the mind, but also object holds, that means so the subject holds the object, then it's knowing. So because of the different functions like that, they have different names or different terms.
Okay. Okay, now we jump. Are you everyone clean? Ian, your question?
This question is too complicated.
Okay, then we go to Hong Kong. Okay. Okay, now who, anyone paint? You paint? Yeah,
Yeah.
can you make a good thumbs?
You can read.
Or maybe you can read. Who can read?
question, but there isn't myself.
You read it then.
Yeah, you see the.
So the first question is, what is the purpose of bowing down to Lama Protector Menju Gosha?
To increase wisdom.
Mm?
To increase wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
Remove obstacles.
Okay. Huh? What is that? Marshall, you said?
To receive blessings.
Blessings. Okay.
To get merit.
Huh?
It's also a way for the author to indicate that the work is based upon the wisdom aspect of the path.
다들 가서 좀봐보기 좀 지져라. 디들이 가서 문도기를 그걸 했어야 돼. 맞아, 가서 문베되나.
알레레레.
문도 이거 문베되나 그걸 했어야지. 댄스를 했어.
And then Lama, 같이 지었어.
And the purpose of saying the Lama, bowing down to Lama is Menju Gosha. Let's say Menju Gosha is for that, but what's the protector, Lama protector?
It's a gesture towards an appreciation for the great kindness that the Lama has demonstrated by revealing this treasure.
The cutting edge.
Okay. Any other people?
Lama is the guru, and the guru is the representative of the Buddha that we received the teachings from. So that's the reason we bow down to the Lama.
Okay. Then, Stacy?
Because they're the knowledge wisdom holders, and we're seeking this knowledge and wisdom, and we need this transmission to come from them. So we're totally and completely humbled by this giving of this knowledge, and we're receiving it. And in order to do that fully and completely, we surrender ourselves in order to receive it.
Okay, you guys have very similar.
Yeah, so everything that all of you said makes sense, right? It's for all the purposes, but main purpose is for the composition, to be successful. So whatever he's composing, so the purpose of paying homage, to the Lama Guru or the protector Menju Gosha is that so that any obstacle that comes on the way, to the successful composition will be removed. And yeah, so like many of you said, receiving blessings, removing obstacles. So of course, creating merit. So if you make prostration or go down, to the Lama Protector Menju Gosha, then that way you create a merit. So if you have enough merit, then whatever you do will be successful.
And then come to
so in the first chapter of the ornament of clarification, it has explained in this way, saying that the purpose of making prostration at the beginning to the Lama Protector Menju Gosha is to remove the obstacles, to the composition, and for the composition to be completed. So that's the bowing down or making prostration is the paying homage, right? So the purpose of paying homage at the beginning is for that reason. And like you said, Adam, that there's also it shows different subject of the text, depending on who you make prostration to. Look to the Buddha, to the omniscient ones, or to Menjushri and so forth. By saying that, then it explains. It shows then which category of the baskets of teaching it falls into. So by making prostration or paying homage to the Guru, protector Menju Gosha, one will create merit, accumulate merit, so through that merit, and all of the obstacles will be removed, and all of one's wishes will be fulfilled. So you all gave a very good answer to that question.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Right. So, in my answer, I've given both answer, question and answer. In my answer, I said is to complete the composition. So if if the obstacle is removed, then one will be able to complete the composition, right?
Okay? Okay. The first is gone, okay? Second.
So second is what treatises are being referred when it talks about the treatise on value cognition?
Okay? I know you guys write down before. Okay. Who's?
Treatise, right?
Treatise.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Treatise. That's how you say it?
Treatise.
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 That's spelled Treatise.
Treatise.
Treatise. Treatises.
Just like awareness.
Okay, who's the answer? Yes.
The treatise on valid cognition by Dignaga, and the compendium on valid cognition by Donati.
What do you guys?
What was that again?
Oh, no. Yes, again,
The compendium on valid cognition by Dignaga and the commentary on valid cognition by Donati. Yes.
What do you guys? Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes? No? That's good? Yes?
Is it the 7 treatises on valid cognition by Donati?
Okay.
And Dignaga, the compendium of valid cognition.
Dignaga Are you guys agree Kimber's answer or you guys are?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The greater path of reasoning section of the magical key is the path of reasoning presentation of the collected topics revealing the meaning of treatises on valid cognition.
Okay, do you guys read? Anyone read the answer? Who read answer? Okay, what do you say? Okay, what do you say?
I wrote the 7 treatises on valid cognition by Dharmakirti. 1, analysis of relations. 2, ascertainment of valid cognition. And then I went down through all the 7.
Okay.
Do you want to hear all that? And then the
No, that's
compendium
okay.
of valid cognition by
Okay,
Dignaga.
that's good. Okay, what do you read?
I'm wrong too, but I said the collected topics of valid cognition refers to any number of debate manuals in Tibetan, and the current work is the current work is from Prabhuchak.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, there's 3 parts: the introduction, the middling, and the greater path. And this specific one is the part of the greater path.
Okay, then who read? Okay.
I have the same as Kimber.
Okay.
Compendium on valid cognition and the commentary on the compendium on the valid cognition.
Okay. How about you?
Same as Kimber.
Okay. How about Stacy?
No, I was just going to take the answer from the talk here. I was like, oh, that must be the answer. I really didn't give it.
You have the same as him?
Yeah.
Then who read? Anyone read? Okay, what do you read?
I have the same as Kimber.
Okay. How are you then?
I have the same as Kimber, only I have Master Bandu's disciple compose the first 100 treatises of Dignaga. Correct with that.
Okay. Anyone have? Well, what are you writing? What are you writing?
No, I was like, I just like, very fast reading. I was just like, yeah, and then I was
Okay. Tanda, Kimber's answer is right. Kimber and also Laura's more close. Were you it?
I put Master Banu's disciple.
Yeah, this is also, yeah, correct, yeah. The main thing is, I'm not just talking about it, just what I think, okay? You patient relapse, Sema Kundi, team, there was some numbers, and was told it. And then team, there was, and then Padi Churali, and then some dead in the was Pujan Sachuas.
So this is another data.
Some number, it's some number, and then some number, some dead in
Yeah, so what is it said? What is said in the text? That's what I'm writing here. So yeah, what Kimber and others said, is very similar. So in simple, I just said the compendium of value cognition and commentary to the value cognition. So those two. So compendium of value cognition is composed by Dignaga, and then the commentary to value cognition, is composed by Dhammakirti. So Dhammakirti also composed many other texts, on value cognition. So they're called the 7 treatises on value cognition. So which Laura said is correct also.
and then some Kundi, Tigan, Devala, and some didn't was.
So compendium of value cognition, so that's the one composed by Dignaga, and to comment it to that, then Dhammakirti composed those 7 treatises on value cognition.
Okay, good. Now don't forget next time, okay? Yeah, if you can write whatever you think is good, then write something, then we use, you get different answers, then you can learn something differently. Okay, then next one.
How many divisions are there to object?
3. Pure and object.
What are that?
4.
6.
Okay, what's 3? What I call the 3?
Pure objects, determined objects, objects of engagement.
How you have the 1, 4?
The referent object. The referent object is the 4.
Referent object.
Correct. You'll see that.
No,
So you
okay, good. Everyone agree that this is easy, right? Okay, now. Okay. Who says that? Okay, good.
So, is a rabbit's horn an object? I said no because it's not existent. However, the meaning generality of a rabbit's horn is an object.
말했어. 가서 보면 요 말했어. 이나 다 그런 게 가서 리볼라리 던지더라. 디 유레스.
Okay. Okay, then good. Okay.
I said, is a rabbit's horn an object? Yes, the mind awareness can make a mental image of it even if it does not exist as a knowable object to the sense awareness.
그 유레스. 다 가서 시베 유 차스 그래서 거기 매바에 나다 시베기 되는데 미과치는 되네 거기 유소 그랬어. 대체도 거기 유레스.
Okay. Then who? Who right? Yes?
I said yes, it's an appearing object to the conscious.
Okay. Myres.
Okay.
Well,
I said the same thing, actually.
okay.
You said that's an appearing object?
It's an appearing object
Oh.
to a conceptual consciousness.
Okay.
I can't remember what I said, but that's it. The gist of it was yes, it's an object, because it can be conceived of.
You said yes, it is an appearing object of the thought consciousness based on a mental image, meaning generality of the object. It can be conceived of, therefore an object of a conceptual consciousness. A conceived object, determined object, it is mistaken object as it does not exist, but it can still be an object of the thought consciousness, but not of thought. Object of the mode of apprehension, object of engagement.
The rest of that thing is the answer.
He didn't read.
Go for my brightest now, all my life, I own my references.
Okay. Then who? Deborah?
I agree that it's an object, it's not an object of sense consciousness, but it is an object of conceptual consciousness.
그래서 먼저 음식이 유 말이스, 이나 인식이 유레스.
Therefore, it's object.
Therefore, it's an object.
Okay, then, okay.
Well, that doesn't even make sense even to me. The thought apprehending it is an object of the mode of apprehension, but is not itself an object of thought. The thought apprehending it is an object of the mode of apprehension.
Okay.
The thought is itself the object, but not the rabbit's horns actually being the object.
So, you're saying that rabbit's horn is not object?
Not an object of thought. That's what it says in the text, but then it goes on to say, it's really complicated sentence. I was trying to like deconstruct and I couldn't figure it out.
But sorry?
It's the object of mode of apprehension of a thought consciousness apprehending it because of being selfless.
Uh-huh.
And I could not make sense of that at all. I was like,
그래서 투식이다 유익이서 투식이 거다 거 진축으로 진바지 진기여서 되는 거다 나한테는 거의 유잘 쓰겠어 유레스 이나 유 말했어 그러시는데 거 고도 송도다 더 유레스 그래서 로직이 유레스 그래서 지난 거 유 말했어.
That's good. Okay, yeah.
I looked at different texts online too about it, so I think it's not an object because even though it's conceptually constructed, it's still like a fantasy thought. So it's like considered a non-existent object. And then it went on to say that it's not an object of valid cognition, so therefore it wouldn't be an object.
Right, that's what it says later, but then initially it says, yes, it is.
There's another quote.
It's not an object.
I don't think it's an object.
If in mind and its functions from Geshe Rapton, he says, no, I had
It's a
he says
non-existent
yes,
object.
because no. He says no, because this is not an object in the strict sense of the word, because object only denotes existent objects of the mind. Although we may speak of a hare's horn or a permanent sound as being objects of the particular thoughts that conceive them, or of two moons as being the object of mistaken visual perception, these things are not objects of the strict sense of the word. So basically saying it's not an object, it's not an existence, basically focusing on definition, object is an existence, rabbit's horn, this isn't the existence, so therefore it's not a real object. But then it is an object, so it is that kind of object, but it's
a
not
non-existing object.
It's like, and the good thing is they then relate
Good things.
about how this relates to, okay, we're thinking rabbit's horns as a non-existent, but I am a non-existent, that sense of self. It's like, okay, well, this is going to help you figure out that thing, which is important. But all this is difficult.
It's an object.
What Geshe Rapton say?
So he says no, it's not, because it's not the object in the strict sense of the word.
Of course he would say no.
Okay, yeah.
Mine's not answering it, I just have a question about it.
You have a question, give me a
Well, the thing about Geshe Rapton saying it's not an object because he used the example of a rabbit's horns and he used an example of sound being permanent. The difference is we don't have any evidence that a rabbit cannot grow horns. But we do.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're a feeding species. No, it does, because we don't have any evidence that it's impossible to exist. But sound cannot be permanent because it contradicts the nature of sound because it performs a function, it's impermanent. What evidence do we have that that does not exist or could not exist?
Has it ever been known?
So if we haven't known it, that means it doesn't
No.
exist? I wasn't known before I was born, but I was never non-existent because the causes were there, I just haven't arisen.
Okay. What was the example?
You became existent later, but you were not existent at that time, before you were born.
We're not talking about existence, we're talking about object status.
But non-existent was what my question was, is what do we mean by non-existent? It means that it's impossible to exist or that it doesn't exist, but it may be later?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at the moment, at that time, in present.
How do we know something, how can we say something does not exist without evidence that it doesn't exist?
Now we say basically,
Generally, so if it exists, then somebody should have seen. Nobody has seen it.
Well, what's the definition of existence? That would.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Little bit go down that definition there. Okay, what's
Yeah, and I just want to say, it's under these definitions, it's an object of engagement. Because if you tell me about it, I engage my mind with that thought. Now that you have a picture of it, it's also an appearing object. Right. Now I can see what it looks like. So that's a very specific rubbing the points. Whether it's
That's a photograph though, that's not a
but it's an object that I'm engaging with a sense object. An appearing object. So I'm physically engaging with the object.
주의도 너당이 되지 말아. 주의도 너당이 되지 말아. 단데 오케이, 뭐 단데 스테이지 가서 예외생 가서 나서.
What's the definition of existence?
Can you read a little bit down there?
No, I don't know if that
No, the text
definition was in our reading, or I believe I understood
Okay, they do. Okay. There is a room, is. Another topic is today in
the 가지나래.
가지나. 또 번에 또 미시바 이렇게 되는 거 봐. 잡아서 된 것이다. 얘는 또 미는 맞췄대. 근데 나도 또 미스들이 또 미스도 잘 말해. 우리가 이제 나도 또 미스도 말해. 또 미는 얼마나 잘 말해.
아, 됐지를.
일단 더 가서 좋아졌어. 가서 좋아졌어.
그래.
Do you have any text? Yesterday, last week stop? When we stopped last week? What page? Yeah. Can you read?
Where it talks about the rabbit's horn or hair horn.
Okay.
Before that, read that.
Yeah, whatever is the object of the mode of apprehension of the full consciousness apprehending it is not necessarily an object of the mode of apprehension. This is because the horns of a rabbit are not an object of the mode of apprehension of the full. This follows because the horns of a rabbit are not an object of the full. This is because the horns of a rabbit are not an object of an awareness.
Yeah, that's good. Then stop that.
Okay. Then there is simple pieces.
That's different. Right? This is the definition. Louis Sharma. You want Louis Sharma in Congress? Louis Sharma you think Louis you're the Sharma. Then Louis Sharma my mission no. Louis Sharma my mission.
이거라고 통문인데.
아니. What page you have?
Is this text? No, that's different text.
This is yeah, the different edition.
Oh yeah.
It's in there though.
Same one, right? Where about it? Which paragraph?
It's the if you look at the part 1 on objects, just look that one where it's described as a book. I think it's page 8 in the old version.
Oh, okay. Page 8.
Do you find?
Oh, okay.
Do you find? Okay, last one what they say. Because Louis Sharma my mission. The Louis my mission. Louis Sharma my mission. Louis Sharma you think it was.
Object of apprehension of the third consciousness apprehended because of being selfless. Concerning what's been said, someone's words. Okay, so then the card of the Lord
Louis Sharma my mission. The Toby my mission. The Louis my mission. The Louis Sharma my mission.
It's more of apprehension of the third.
HGS. Rather to the James.
Selfless. They go. 가서 다음에 했어요.
다음에 이미지 됐다. 루이스랑 많이 비슷하죠. 라드톤에서 또 얘기를 또 그래서 말했어. 루이처럼.
로이드 자롱화를.
루이처럼 요에 생기됐어.
So, Stacy, you asked about the definition. So Geshe said this is the definition.
루이처럼.
That which is suitable to be an object of an awareness.
This is definite. And the 시자 여와 야자 예주가 대주로 was. 시자의 여와 대주로 was.
So object, the existence and object of the knower, object of knower, the existence and object of comprehension, they all are synonymous.
내 도구의 마인드 루이샤로 마인드 셔스. 요 말에서 나가죠.
So it says it follows because the horn of the rabbit are not an object of thought. This is because the horn of rabbit are not an object of an awareness, which is because the horn of a rabbit are not that which is suitable to be an object of an awareness.
Yes.
So because it is not suitable to be an object of an awareness, therefore it's not existence.
So why is it not suitable? But then the next one also says.
First we have to finish that, okay? Okay. Okay.
So anyway, the horn of the rabbit doesn't exist, right? Does it? No.
No, right? This is not really? Okay, this is the Mayomar was.
It doesn't exist, right?
You have the shadow of the changes.
So that which is suitable to be an object of awareness is a definition of existence.
여와다 시자 여와 야잔 또 예춘 대지를 삼고 싶다.
So the object of an awareness, the object and existence, they are all synonymous.
Okay? Correct? 다 우리가 시야들의 말이.
So so the rabbit's horn. Is the horn of a rabbit an object of awareness?
What kind of awareness?
시작하네.
율 도배율.
도박하네서.
도반다 시당 도반 남주. 따지가로 도반 시당 같이요.
So general awareness. 내 남에서 가서 Zirna dad maru chada dam yewa mewa kana dad maru chada dam because it doesn't exist,
It doesn't exist. It's selfish because it doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
It doesn't exist from its one side.
yewa mewa kana
Do existence.
Okay, that hamada you got first one. You got it?
Yes.
First one you got it?
Yeah.
Is Robert's one exist now, right? That Louis Sharma yewa mari is.
Lord Charo has a mice.
Object of
Louis Sharma ta kado.
Maybe just.
네, 다 로강이 좀 맞도시대요. 로강이 좀 맞도시. 동이 로강이 매우셨어. 롱라 또 별로 찌우 매우셨어.
So again it says that the horn of rabbit doesn't exist because it's not a suitable object of an awareness, right? And then so I was just laughing. Why is not suitable an object of an awareness? Because it doesn't exist. So, in other words, there's no valid mind, and there's no valid mind that can see the rabbit's the horn of rabbit.
Okay. 뒤에다 산지가 또 그래. 산지가 롱라 또 말했어.
So even Buddha doesn't see it. If it exists, Buddha should see it.
저기는 텔레비 도고 말했어.
If it is physical, if it's an obvious thing, then the scientists should see it. The scientists haven't seen it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ian says.
Okay, yeah.
Is it possible to have an object of mental consciousness that wasn't perceived through sense consciousness?
당한 저기 가서 옹식이 마동했더니 이식이 동 유식을 해왔어.
Oh, of course.
So I can perceive a rabbit horn through mental consciousness, but nobody's perceived it through sense.
Yeah, this is of course you can say like this, You can like that meditation like this. Put that.
아니, 네 이유는 말았어.
대예서 다다 라도 좀 해서도 라도 해서도 대예 걸어서 로 송이여 봐. 그래서 로는 로 드시여 봐. 대예에서 라도 또 봐서도 라도 또 해도 다음에 미셔도. 이나 대만을 건도 대만을 또 what's your question? Your different question?
Yeah, it's a different question. So
Are you go down or you stay there?
I'm just going right to the next line.
Okay, next I think I'm okay. The same message coming. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So I should go, okay, so I'll just read the line first. It follows that the subject, the horns of a rabbit,
Yeah.
is the object of the mode of apprehension of the thought consciousness, apprehending it because of being selfless.
Okay.
So it's saying it is the object
Yes.
of the mode of apprehension
Yes.
of the thought consciousness.
Yes. Because
Apprehending it.
Well, I don't care about the
No, apprehending it.
I don't care about that part. What I care about is that it's saying it is an object
Of
the
more
mode of
apprehension.
apprehension
Of the
of
thought
the thought
of
consciousness.
consciousness.
So the question then is.
No, you have to add this. Apprehending it.
Oh, apprehend, okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine, all right.
So that's because it's apprehending it, that means it's imagining it.
No, right.
So you're imagining, you're visualizing. Right?
Visualizing it,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
you're
that, of
visualizing.
course, is the object.
So it's not,
of-
right, so the question is that necessarily a fantasy or a delusion? Because it is not an appropriate, suitable object of direct awareness.
또 그거 투시인 거랬어. 투시인 거랬어.
Yeah.
그 가서 노조인 거랬어. 투시인 거랬어. 투바인 거랬어. Right. Yeah, it's a mistaken object.
This kind, yeah.
The mistaken object is still not.
Yeah.
Mistaken object.
But now that 그거 있는 거로.
거기서
아니, 나 콘티셔서.
투시인아야.
라도 또봐 지지티 이해를 되는 또비에 말했어. 로 그게 맞고 하는데 또비에 말했어. 그 똥이 좀 매워야 돼 말했어. 이러면 그런 시대에서는 잘 맞으면 잘 말했어.
So like it says here, it follows that the subject, right, the horn of rabbit is the object of mode of apprehension of thought consciousness apprehending it. It is the object of the mode of apprehension of thought consciousness apprehending it, but it's not object of thought consciousness.
Thought consciousness, right.
Yeah. It's the object of the mode of apprehension of the thought consciousness apprehending it, but not the object of mode of apprehension.
So it's a mistaken,
sorry,
it's
mode
a mistaken mode of apprehension.
That's right, yes.
다 이만한 로 그게 맞고 오셨다. 이만이
So because it's not object, the reason why it's not object is because none of the consciousness sees it or cognizes it. So if it is object, then it has to be cognized by thought consciousness or sense consciousness. So there has to be a mind which cognizes it. Because there is no mind which cognizes it, therefore it doesn't exist.
다 저기 가서 딱 있던 지구나 모델 나가서 로모도 gondam만 먹어 로미카라 로모 산 다른 데에나 아니 그 아메리카나 라두섬 동거에서 와. 근데 대화 로라서 또 봐서 그 로로시에서 디 레삼거 디 예인자 아니 라우도 예레스 나가서.
So like for example in the night or in the dark time, and you see the rabbit, you don't see it clearly, and you see its hair. So the ears, right? The ears standing up, it looks like a horn, And in your mind, you think that's the mode of apprehension. So in your mind, you say, oh, maybe that's the horn on the rabbit's head. So but that is mistaken, right? So that's no real horn, but you think that's the horn, So in your mind, you say, oh yeah, what I'm seeing is a horn of rabbit.
그래서 남의 얘기다 대웅 쳐버렸어. 남의 얘기다 딱 여원이 막 가놨더니 물론 드시지 못 쳐버렸어. 소리나.
And that can be selfless. So whether it exists or not, it can be selfless. It doesn't have to be existence or non-existent for it to be selfless.
So for it to be an object of mind, mental consciousness, it has to be valid?
That you 가서 토픽이 유리나 거기다 가서 세마인 걸로 했어. 얘는 세마인 걸로 했어. 토픽 유리나?
그 말.
So valid meaning what? Like valid cognition or?
Well, not a mistaken consciousness.
So the mind that's holding it, the mind in perceiving the object?
Yeah.
So there has to be a valid mind which holds it or which perceives it. If it exists, then there has to be a valid mind which perceives it.
So a mistaken object cannot be an object of mental consciousness.
Mistaken consciousness? So that's different again, So when you say it's the mistaken mind that sees, there's no mistaken object itself, There's no true moon or there's no rabbit's hair. Rabbit's horn, right? There's no rabbit's horn. But there is, the mind which sees rabbit's horn. So that's mistaken mind, not the mistaken object. You see the difference?
Okay, now are you got it?
So you understand the meaning of selfless?
I understand selfless. I don't see how, is it or is it?
How to walk.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't unpack that stuff.
So anything, whether it exists or not, right? Anything, whether it exists or not, it can be selfless. And therefore, anything that exists and not exists can be selfless. Therefore, rabbit's horn, it can be selfless.
Okay?
But it can be an object of mode of apprehension of the thought of consciousness, apprehending it. So they mentioned about the rabbit's horn, which is non-existent, but it can be object of the mode of apprehension of the thought consciousness, apprehending it. So, but it's not an object of thought consciousness because it is not object of any kind of thought consciousness. Because there isn't a mind that knows it.
Okay? Not really makes sense. It's hard and headache. Okay, you have some question?
Yes. Just because, if you have an object, or can you give an example of an object, an existent, that can't be known through the sense consciousness, but can be known via the mind?
The meaning generality, the meaning generality of the place. Like say, I described to you about Sarah. You don't see the Sarah monastery through your sense consciousness, but you can through your mental consciousness you can see it. So because of seeing the smoke, you can say there is a fire, and you can be sure or aware of the fire because of seeing the smoke. The fire cannot be seen by your sense consciousness, but you can understand that through the mental consciousness.
Okay?
And
but they will come there later, because they all come later. Okay? I think better to when they come that time we can more explain that better. Okay, more confused today? Yeah, you have more questions?
I have one more question. And for the determined object, is it always permanent or is it impermanent? Can it be permanent?
So the appearing object now of the thought consciousness, mental consciousness, has to be permanent. Yeah, but for the determined object, it's not necessary to be permanent.
Okay?
Thank you.
You got it? Like that, you guys check this all the objects here. But some they also couldn't understand what they talk about. This is the outlines. Also there's sometimes they add some different text here. They talk about drawing. They can here to channel like
You know that outline, that what do you call that? Chart, yes, chart. The diagram, chart.
Church, you guys have like some pictures. No. Years, no years, they are coming on this, okay. No more confused, okay? It's complicated?
Yes.
It's exercising your mind, okay? Don't kind of sentimentalism.
Don't be disappointed.
Don't disappoint, okay? Just exercise our lazy mind. Just give up something. Think in different ways. Okay, thank you. Try to make some short prayer.
From my two collections, vast and spacious, I have amassed from working with effortless practice for a great length of time. May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is void of ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives and retreats. May I find the best of complete greater paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from minds of all beings, with the points of the path as I discern them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this greater course to enlightenment completed, through the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and made things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives the pure path raised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana and virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. People go right to the dedication prayers, page 57. Through this virtue may I swiftly having made Kurukulla state, place each and every sentient being without exception.
Thank you very much, Geshe. Thank you, Damcho. Short announcement, we have tomorrow night at 7 o'clock we have a Tara Puja, so please come join us if you have the time. It's, for anyone who's not been here, it's a wonderful puja we do mostly in English with the praises to the 21 Taras for removal of obstacles and creation of merit, so it's a wonderful thing for us to come together with and for the merit of the center and everything around the world and all sentient beings. And then on Saturday there's a big puja. We have Guru Puja in our schedule in any case. At 4 p.m. there will be a puja, but it's a combined one with the Tibetan community. So it's going to be a nice, big, busy one. So please come join us. And that, I think, pretty much it for now. Kind of fairly quiet in April. Then we've got Sakadawa coming up on May 14. We have sent out some appeal letters. There's a lot of financial things we have to do around Sakadawa with the tent, etc., etc. So any donations, very welcome. And anyone who want to help, please email volunteers@kurukulla.org, and Jennifer or Michelle will be able to help point you, and I'm working closely with them to figure out what is everything to do. So that's it. Thanks very much, Geshe. Thanks, Damcho. Oh, and if you're not getting the emails, I sent out a, let me know if you didn't get the email. I sent out one yesterday, that listed all the documents that's in there, everything. So just get on my email list if you just stalk me. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Okay. Good night.